another great start for Kirk Cousins. When will people start giving him more credit for being an actual good quarterback in this league, Reid?
Yeah, if you tuned in to our Sunday show, Emerson, 12 p.m. to kickoff on Valley Sports Networks, you heard my prognostication of working up a sweat that Kirk Cousins needs to be considered in more lineups. And sure enough, this is what he's doing. Look, 25, and now 28 fantasy points in the first 3 weeks. And we're not saying fantasy points correlates to good football, because Teddy Bridgewater, although he's actually playing pretty well, is a good quarterback in actual NFL. But yeah, Kirk Cousins right now, if you take a look, he's the one, and this offense is really the one keeping these teams, or keeping the Vikings in these matchups. Like Seattle, they have a lot of things to work out, especially on the defensive side of the last couple of weeks. But if you take a look at Kirk Cousins and his efficiency in the first half, it was unbelievable. He had a pass rating of 144, and then he followed that up with a pass rating of 100 flat in the second half. He looks great. And this receiving core, guys, when you talk about Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, and Osborne, I would argue that it's top 5 as a unit right now for what these guys are doing, as opposed to, other guys who have maybe stars on other teams. The Minnesota Vikings right now in their offense looks really strong, and it's led by Kirk Cousins.
Pierce, Mike Zimmer says the Vikings' effort on offense yesterday was the best he's seen in 8 years in Minnesota.
Which should be, with all the weapons that they have. I mean, Reid just mentioned they've got tons of receivers. They've got Dalvin. Well, even without Dalvin Cook, they were amazing. And it's just so hard to shake off who Kirk Cousins was, or who he is, or who he will be. I feel like I need to go to a hypnotist to try to just retrain my brain, like give this guy a shot. And it's really important, I think, for DFS players to do that, because last weekend we probably didn't give enough attention to Josh Allen. He should have been on the radar, and he absolutely destroyed the slate. And Reid mentioned, hey, you guys need to pay attention to Kirk Cousins. Keep Kirk Cousins on your radar no matter what in this offense. They can absolutely explode any given week. He may not win a bunch of games, but he can pile up the stats.
So the Vikings, Jeff, are celebrating the franchise's first win over the Seahawks since 2009.
Yeah, I mean, look, it just feels like I probably get asked this question once a year. Is this finally time to give Kirk Cousins some credit? Honestly, no. No. I'm sorry. I've seen this so many times from Kirk Cousins. He strings together 2 or 3 great games. He looks fantastic. He's the next Drew Brees. No, he's not. We've seen enough from Kirk Cousins to know that when it gets colder and he goes on the road, this isn't going to last. The Vikings offense looks like a well-oiled machine right now, but they were down big against Cincinnati. Then they got some prevent defense. They caught Arizona off guard. I would like to see them, they go up against the Rams and put up 35 points. Sure. I'll give them some credit, but man, it's Kirk Cousins, guys. It's a couple games.